Your wife was 20 weeks pregnant when she found out that the baby she was carrying had a severe medical problem. There was an obstruction in the urinary tract, and the doctors told her that the child would not survive outside of her womb. What were and she had a severe infection that developed as well. What were the options that she had at that point? What did you have to decide?
Well, there was that physical abnormality in our son, and the options available were to continue with the pregnancy, which there was a small chance that the obstruction could clear, but very, very small chance, almost zero. And two, we could intervene and try to do some procedure to relieve that obstruction and provide some hope for the baby to survive. Or three, obviously you could terminate the pregnancy. That's an option that was made available. Obviously, we would not consider the last option. We did not consider the first option because we believed that gave no hope for our son, and so we did the thing that I think, if this child was not in the womb but was 3 years old, I think most would say, well, would you kill your child? Would you do nothing to try to save your child, or would you do the medical procedure that gave the best chance for that child to survive? And so we acted the way we thought prudent parents should act, and we had a medical procedure done in Philadelphia that gave our son a chance. Unlike many medical procedures, there's a risk of infection. And when the procedure was done, obviously you open up the womb to outside instruments and other things when you have a surgery done. And unfortunately, as a result of that, several days after the surgery, my wife had an infection in the uterus, which caused her to go into labor. And the baby was delivered, and Gabriel was 21 plus weeks old, and he was born alive. And he lived for 2 hours. And he was not old enough or well developed enough to have survived beyond that, and so we gave comfort care to him for those 2 hours in which he lived, and it affected me profoundly because it realized to me that all life is significant and precious, no matter how brief or how disabled or how short. And his life has affected mine in ways and other people's lives. Karen wrote a book about it. There have been articles written about it. And the hundreds, if not thousands, of people who have been touched by his life shows me that, there's a plan for all of us. We don't know what it is, and we don't know how long we're going to be here, but we have to respect the fact that all of us have the ability to make a contribution to the betterment of all, even though we may not be here long or may not be very healthy in the process.
After he died, you brought him home to show your children. Why did you want to do that?
We brought him home to bury him. I think we thought it was appropriate. He was a member of our family, and instead of taking him to a funeral home for a viewing, if you will, we brought him home for a mass at the house, and then brought with the funeral director. We brought him over to the cemetery where he was buried. So, we had, in a sense, you could call it a viewing instead of having the viewing at the funeral home, which we thought was rather impersonal given the circumstances. This was something that we wanted to just share with our family and for our children to see that they had a little brother, and that their little brother lived and was a part of this family, and they got a chance to see this little gift and remember him for the rest of their lives.